Hey guys, Brent Hull here. Happy Wednesday. New series on design, kind of my consulting work that I'm helping people around the country with different jobs. Today, taking a 1970s kind of colonial revival house and fixing it. You'll be surprised at the little tweaks that happen that make this and take it from good to great. Fixing a traditional house, and this house is built in the 70s. What are the problems? What are the challenges? What's going on here? And I think the thing that initially just caught my eye was the relationship of this and this compared to the front door, and how diminished the front door looks and how small it looks. And so if you look at, historic precedent and things like that, there is a relationship between, three parts, let's say. And the fact that there's kind of the 5 bays is nice and traditional. The fact that there's 3 here, but these things overwhelm this door, and the door looks diminished and small. So we need to elevate this door. There's other things. There's this dentil, the huge, bold, loud dentil that is just kind of way too strong. And so our cornice needs to get fixed, right? We need to fix how this looks across here. I like shutters. These don't fit exactly, they wouldn't close over top of these windows. So they're the screwed in kind place. And so, they've been bolted to the walls, so they just tend to be a little bit lifeless. But the real biggest challenge is, how do we fix this here? The other thing is on the windows, is that the quality of the windows isn't expressing itself as well as it could. Like over here, you can see that these are divide light windows, but if you look here, you can't see any divide light panes. So what that means is that you've got 2 pieces of glass, and there's like the bars inside, or maybe they're the clip-on bars that go on the inside of the window. This relationship here of this square to this one, right? Notice how big this one is compared to that, maybe 30% bigger. It just kind of throws off your proportion, throws off your scale. So what I did was I basically diminished these, okay? Because those roofs details were much too large, okay? And by doing that, by softening that, by fixing this cornice right here, we're going to elevate this, give it a little bit of better proportion. I'm also going to build possibly a portico here, right? Something that sticks up, maybe with the little top on it, maybe with a little balustrade, right? Because then I've elevated and picked up this, and then I'm going to go back with some stronger windows that have full solid wood windows instead of the simulated divided light and true divided light windows, and get these in here so that our windows can look more like windows. And then I got to fix this eave. So here's what we kind of ended up coming out with and fixing. Basically, I have taken out the roofs, right? I've taken out those details, and you'll notice I've built up this little thing, so there's a little crown detail that runs around here now. And this has more of a classical cornice, right, with a bed mold under here. But these are built up, but they're not as huge with that, that roof on here. As you can see, if I go back and forth, right, that roof on there was just so strong, okay? Visually, it was just very heavy. And so I wanted to get rid of that. And by going with a flat roof or a slightly pitched roof here, it really softens the feel of these windows. And now, by elevating the front door, right, by putting this little portico over top and diminishing these, now this is central, right? I've added in a front walk so that there's more of a central walk instead of walking around the side of the house. I've changed the windows, changed the window, sizing so that they don't go down quite as far. If you just compare the sizes of the windows, maybe if I do it this way, these actually came down much farther, and I've reduced the size of that. There's this idea called graduated fenestration, where the fenestration means the windows, and so this window is bigger than this one. It graduates as it goes up, so the windows get smaller. And so diminishing the size of these windows actually helps. And then taking out the dental. I mean, if nothing else, just taking out the dental here, that huge dental, which was so loud and bold up here, as you can see, just taking that away and getting back to a classical cornice where you've got a crown and you've got a corona, and then you've got a bed mold, right, that goes back here. And then I'm trying to come down with a fascia underneath there to hit right on top of those windows. And so that I get more classical detail. My window's actually down here, right? And so building this up instead of that really loud, bold cornice here, which really has no historic precedent, it fixes it. Now, notice I don't have shutters. You can put shutters if you want back in here, but obviously only on these upper windows. I don't think it needs it. I've drawn back in the siding, kind of giving that feel because siding works, but really fixing this element and establishing this, where am I supposed to go, this walk up that really emphasizes and strengthens this doorway, diminishing these two, I think is 90% of fixing this house, and helps to make it look more traditional, more colonial, and more appropriate. So we go from this, where what is it? Why does this work better than this? And it's because all the little details in fixing this roof, fixing this, and elevating that. Doing those three things alone, helps out a ton and really helps to get it back to those traditional elements, those traditional details that I think work and make this house really handsome and really pretty. Okay guys, what did you think? Did you like that? I really think it made a big difference. Diminishing those roofs, elevating the doorway, I mean, that alone is just huge. And then fixing that cornice, tweaking the windows, right? You didn't have to do all of that to make that house better, but certainly elevating the entry made a big difference. Let me know if you agree or not. I'm Brent Hull, thanks for watching.